There's going to be a conversation, and I got a feeling that this conversation could have taken place yesterday. There's going to be a conversation that takes place between two parents. The kids aren't around. These two parents both came from a hostile environment. They both came from abusive environment situations with parents and the neighborhood environment and the environment as far as tornadoes and hazarduses and earthquakes and this and that. All of this is cooking and brewing together in a big pot, right? It's not on both of their minds, but it's on one of the parents' minds, and I'm thinking it's more on the mother's mind. But she doesn't want to disrupt father because maybe he grew up there and he loved it there, and she loves it there too. But there's so much going on, like the crime rate is high and people are losing their kids to gun violence all the time. Over dinner at the table, because I see this going down at the table, mother, and it could be if father is in his female energy and mother is in her male energy, it could be vice versa, but somebody is going to bring up the topic about moving somewhere safer. They don't trust what's going on. There's gangs around and their kids are around and people are affiliating these kids every day. They're not even worried about themselves. They're worried about their children, and they don't want their children to grow up the way they grew up. They don't want their children to become a product of the environment. Like, there's so many things they don't want for their children. It's like whoever's driving the most estrogen, when they pass away, even though it might be 50 or 60 years from now, they would not rest knowing that their children got into something, but they don't know how to bring this up to the other spouse. But finally, they're going to just say something over some salad. And the other spouse is going to say, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to bite down on my pride. I'm glad you brought this up because I don't want them to grow up like this either. I don't like this environment either. We know what it's about. We know what we both came through because that's how the two of you got combined. That's how the two of you latched on. That was the common denominator of how you two met. And you don't want this for your children because you know your children are going to bear children and have offspring that keeps generating and it never stops. And you want to move them to a secret place, to a healthy place, to somewhat semi-wealthy place. Even if you're poor, middle class would be wealthy to you. But there's going to be a conversation, but I think a lot of you had this. People are going to start getting on the computers, searching safer places and nicer places to move because they just can't rest with all this toxicity around their children.